Let me tell y'all what just pissed me off. Like, for real, for real, for real. And mind y'all, before I even get into this story, everybody in this situation is white. So before y'all get to commenting talking about, oh, black men versus black women, the gender divide, so and so, please save it, okay? So this white woman posted a video of herself in the hospital, right? So she was in labor about to give birth to her baby. And in the background, you could hear another woman screaming, like in anguish, right? So this woman made the caption, oh my God, I'm up next. And this is what I hear, right? So clearly she's saying like she hears this other woman screaming and now she's scared, okay? So this guy commented talking about, oh, some women are so dramatic. My wife gave birth to two beautiful little girls unmedicated and she didn't make all this noise. Some women just want attention, so and so and so. And y'all, when I tell y'all that comment really just got on my nerves, oh, yeah, we finna get into this for sure. Now, let me make it clear, I have never had a child before. So I cannot sit here and talk firsthand about the pains of pregnancy or labor or any of that. I just can't, right? But I am a woman and I have been getting periods for almost 20 years now, right? So I'm going to talk about periods just briefly, okay? Now, for reference, I have a healthy, functioning reproductive system. I am very blessed to in that respect, seriously, okay? Because first of all, I don't have anything like PCOS or endometriosis or anything like that, right? And then also I have just, very regular periods, right? Like I can track my period. I can predict, oh yeah, I'm gonna get my period either that day or the next, most likely, right? A lot of women can't do that, okay? So I'm saying that for a reason. For years, when I got my period, I cannot even stress to you all how painful it was. When I tell you the pain that I got on my periods was like incapacitating, I'm not even joking, right? Like it was the type of pain where you want to just lay down and go to sleep because that's the only way you can escape the pain, right? But you can't even do that because it hurts so bad you cannot sleep. You have to just lay there and cry, like quite literally, right? And that doesn't even get into, how uncomfortable it is to bleed all over yourself and stuff like that, right? Let's not even get into all of that. Let's just talk about the pain, okay? And this is the thing. When you say something like this to a man, right? They will sit there and be like, oh, women are so dramatic. It's not that serious, so and so and so. And it's like, are you out of your mind? Like, you think that I'm doing this for attention? Because that guy's comment, he said, oh, women are, they can be so dramatic. They want attention. You think that right now in this moment, when I'm going through a pain like this, you think what's on my mind is, oh, let me get some attention. Are you like, what? Now, as I have aged, I will say my periods have gotten much more bearable. Like, much more, okay? I will say when I get my period, it can still be a little uncomfortable, but the pain is manageable. Like, if I have to go to work, I can. Now, I'm going to be uncomfortable, but it's like I can get there and function and, all right? But, I'm lucky because as I've aged, again, my periods have gotten more manageable. There are women out there who still have periods like the periods that I used to have, right? And society, aka men, still expects them to get up and go to work and just function and, everything's perfect, right? One thing I will say is this, right? As an adult, since I've been working and everything, right? I always say that women should get more PTO or sick days or whatever than men, quite frankly, easily, because we get periods and men don't. Like, it is what it is. I remember once I was at work and one of my guy coworkers, he had called out, right? So he came back in the next day and I asked him, I'm like, oh, are you okay? Because I know you didn't come in yesterday. And he was like, yeah, I just needed a mental health day. And I remember that was mind opening to me because you got sick days just sitting around and take a mental health day with? This was mind boggling to me because at that time I still had periods that were so bad that I needed to take off work for them, right? So every month I would use my sick days on my period, okay? And usually that wouldn't even be enough time because, your period can be uncomfortable for 2 or 3 days, at least me specifically, but y'all let me know if it's different for y'all, right? But my point is this. Men are just sitting there accumulating sick days for mental health days and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, women, half the time, we use our sick days for our periods. And if we don't, then a lot of times we just go to work and are uncomfortable. Because, I mean, like, otherwise, you're just not going to have no sick days for if you actually get sick. God forbid I get a cold. God forbid, right? It's funny because whenever I propose this, I say, yeah, women should get more time off of work than men. Men are always like, what? How is that fair? How is that fair? Be fucking for real. If men got periods, y'all would have this system set up so that y'all got more time off of work than us. Absolutely. If men got pregnant and had babies, y'all would have 2 years of maternity leave. Like, come on now, be for real with yourself. Periods are a chronic illness. Like, you go through this every month. This is something that needs to be accounted for. I don't care how y'all feel about it. It is what it is. Now, this is the thing. Every woman's body is different. Like, my best friend, she don't even really get period cramps, right? But how is it fair to judge my period cramps by hers? You know, because there are a lot of guys who will say, oh, look, she doesn't get period cramps, so why are you laying there crying and stuff? You must be wanting attention. Are you fucking stupid? And I'm sorry, but I feel like a big part of this is definitely a lack of empathy. Absolutely so, right? Because there's no way you see people in pain and you just like, oh, they must be faking. They just want attention. Like, what, right? But then also part of the issue is the fact that these things aren't taught in school. Most men don't even know what a period is. Honestly, a lot of women don't, and it's our bodies, right? A lot of people don't even know what a period is or any of the symptoms of it or anything, right? So of course they have these ignorant ass takes about them. Now, I want to get back to that video and that comment that man left talking about, oh, my wife had 2 babies. She didn't make nearly this much noise. Some women are so dramatic. They just want attention. This is my thing. You should be thanking God that your wife had the type of labor where she didn't have to make no noise. You should be thanking God. You should be down on your knees, speaking in tongues, that your wife was blessed enough. And I'm not even religious, right? That your wife was blessed, lucky, whatever enough to go through labor unmedicated and not be in any pain. I'm about to tell y'all, and y'all, I'm getting goosebumps because, like, this is the most horrifying thing I could ever imagine, right? The most horrifying thing, right, for me when I think about, you know, getting pregnant and having a baby. It's the fact that your vagina may very well tear. Now, ask any man to look up an image depicting the tears, right, that your vagina can go through during pregnancy. And look at that. Oh, look at that last one when the vagina tears all the way to the ass crack. Can you even imagine how fucking painful that is? Because I'm like, y'all, I cannot even fucking imagine, right? And you sitting here telling me, oh, some women are so dramatic. My wife was unmedicated. Thank God that your wife didn't go through something like that. Like, what? Do you understand how dangerous having a baby is? So many women die on that table. So many women go into the hospital expecting to come out with the baby and they bleed out on that table. And you sitting here telling me that a woman is dramatic for screaming. Are you out of your mind? And it's the fact that women go through so much. And I'm about to start tearing up. We go through so much. And mind you, like I said, I've never even been pregnant before. Never been in labor, right? But even, baby, just the periods are so much. And men can sit around talking about, oh, it's not that serious. What you screaming for? So. Are you kidding me? Imagine being married to a dude like this. If I knew that my man had said some shit like this, it'd be like, what? Like, huh? Now, you know, the whole point of this video, of course, is to say that we should not be downplaying women's pain. But I gotta say something real quick. It's ridiculous to me that if you look at a man's balls too long, he gonna be talking about, oh, it hurts so bad. Oh, my nuts, my ball sack, right? But then he'll sit there and say that a woman is dramatic and she just wants attention because she's screaming as her vagina tears all the way to her ass crack. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm sorry, but this just seems a little bit oxymoronic, honestly. Now, look, y'all, I tried to give folks some grace earlier in this video. I said, you know, we don't learn about periods and pregnancy and labor in, you know, high school or even most of us college, right? So a lot of people, of course, are going to have these ignorant takes. But I feel like that's too generous. I really do. And let me tell you exactly why, right? You don't have to learn about the intricacies of the human body or whatever, right? To know that if you pull up to, a car crash scene, okay, and somebody is on the ground screaming in pain, you're not going to be like, oh, you know what? I know somebody else who got into a car accident and they wasn't screaming like that. So I think that person is just, I think they just looking for attention. That's real dramatic, right? You're not going to say that, right? Even if that is true. You might know somebody who did get into a car accident that wasn't as serious, right? So they did not have that reaction, okay? No, you're going to come up to the scene and be like, oh my God, that person must be hurt. Clearly they screaming in agony, like, duh, like, come on now, right? But you telling me that you would go into the hospital where women are giving birth and hear them screaming in agony and pain and be talking about some women are so dramatic. Like, oh my God, I think they're just doing that for attention. Seriously, right? So it's not even about, ignorance about the complexities and the intricacies of whatever, right? It's not even about that. It's about the fact that you guys downplay the fuck out of anything that pertains to women. Anytime something is particular to women, it has to be downplayed, mocked, ridiculed, belittled, etc., etc., etc. So since period pain and labor pains are particular to women, right? These things have to be, again, downplayed. Men are going to sit here and say, oh yeah, it can't be that painful because it's women going through it, right? It's insane to me. It's insane to me, right? And the funny thing is, anytime somebody puts these period simulators on a woman, right? The woman is like, I mean, this is nothing. My actual period is worse than this. But the men are like, what? Like, they're like, you function when this thing feels this way? Like, are you serious, right? It's crazy because it's really their first nature to just downplay and gaslight the fuck out of us. My coochie tearing to my asshole, and you telling me that I'm being dramatic for screaming? Like, y'all, let me just go ahead and cut the video here because I'm finna really get to cutting up.